A man unexpectedly finds that by setting his appearance to a negative value when creating a character, he can gain massive attributes. After changing the condition to instantly die when playing with a female, his X becomes a terrifying 10,000. At this point, his attribute points have reached 100 trillion, but he never expected that the moment he hit confirm, he would actually be transported into the game world, and his lowest possible appearance setting turned him into a human-shaped Cthulhu. In contrast, his companions who also crossed over were handsome men. His ugly appearance not only made him despised by others, but he could only choose unwanted weapons like a greatsword. But it doesn't matter, he can still use his incredible power to conquer this world. Just as he opens the door, a goblin peeks out, and the handsome man with the axe solves the problem. Unexpectedly, more goblins keep coming from a distance. The man thought sacrificing his looks would make him invincible, but the goblin in front of him made him face reality. In contrast, his attacks, it barely hurt the enemy. The male protagonist then realized he hadn't allocated his attribute points. He had no choice but to first defeat the goblin. The moment the monster fell, his level instantly reached 31. This was the 10,000 XP effect. His teammates, who were working hard to kill monsters, had just leveled up to 2. The protagonist then began to allocate his attribute points, easily raising each stat to 1 trillion. The system then started to glitch. The next moment, the protagonist was granted the title of Absolute God. The goblins could no longer cause any damage, and the protagonist only needed a simple flick of his finger. This power was enough to flick a monster into outer space. Moreover, with 1 trillion points in skill, he could handle anything. Pulling back a bowstring and shooting an arrow created a super tier magic circle. In contrast, his useless teammate's sword rain attack missed every target. After the fight, the group arrived at a town. He knew what he looked like, so he left the team early, but the girl came to give him something. He didn't want it at first, but he couldn't refuse her enthusiasm and accidentally touched her. One of his stats was triggered, and his AP was forcibly reduced by 1/3. His total AP dropped by 58 million, which is equivalent to killing 300 people on Earth. To make matters worse, the food fell on the wall and was completely spilled. To avoid making the girl sad, the male lead planned to eat the food from the ground, but the girl was touched by his sincerity and gave him her portion.